You know that feeling when you're sidelined by an injury or you just can't find the motivation to get out the door? Look, you're not alone. I've been there. And I want to share the secrets I've learned to overcome the top 5 reasons why runners quit and rediscover the joy of hitting the pavement or hitting the trail. Injury comes with the territory, and this is one of the most common and significant reasons why runners quit. Running related injuries such as like runner's knee, Achilles tendonitis, stress fractures, it can be a persistent and very frustrating. The pain and the fear of doing more permanent damage can often lead to people to stop running. And sometimes it's a permanent thing. Life can get in the way, a new job, a new baby, family, illness, even regular life events like vacations, can really disrupt your running routine. And running requires time, commitment. And when other priorities and obligations arise, it can be difficult to maintain the habit. Life has thrown me so many curveballs in so many different ways, and I'm kind of struggling, to be quite honest, to kind of get that habit back and to get into a routine. My mornings are consumed right now. I'm doing a lot of things in the morning that I haven't done before. I'm actually helping a friend of mine with a number of things. So running in the morning is going to have to happen even earlier than it was before. I mean, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning may be my new norm for a while, but it is what it is. And I say that because
Too tired.
I want you to know that you're not the only one who struggles with running, that struggles to sometimes find the time to, look, these are just struggles that we all have. And right now I'm on my way to an appointment. I'm not dressed for running. I'm dressed for working. But I had, some time, and I thought I wanted to talk about that today because these are reasons why people quit running, whether it's a short period of time or whether it's a long period of time. Everyone stops for their own reasons. Sometimes it's permanently, sometimes it's, for a couple of weeks, sometimes it's a couple of months, but it just all depends on the individual.
Hey, my name's David and I'm the plant-powered runner. I've been using the Maffetone method on and off for many years. I've been building my aerobic base. I've been putting in the miles. I've been putting in the time to build a stronger version of me. But over the last couple of years, I've been struggling. Life struggles, health issues with family members. And I'm trying to get back into the sport. It's hard, but I'm trying.
Number 3 can be very familiar for a lot of people, and lack of motivation or boredom for many people. Running can become really monotonous, specifically if you're running the same route and don't have a specific goal, right? Without a structured plan, a sense of purpose or variety, look, the activity, can lose its appeal or it can become a chore. And some people go through that. And I think that is a reason why some runners quit, even seasoned runners who have been doing this for a long period of time. They just say, hey, you know what? I need to do something else because this is kind of getting boring. Number 4, it's unrealistic expectations or disappointment, right? New runners can often start with high hopes of losing weight, and they quickly see rapid improvements in their speed and endurance. But when progress is slower than you anticipate, or you don't achieve, your goals, it can become really discouraging, and you kind of say, maybe this isn't the thing for me, and you pack it in and you say, I'm done. I'm not going to continue to run. And it's sad that has to happen. I mean, we all have a cycle of how long we want to be runners for, how far we want to run, what our goals are with marathons, half marathons, 10Ks, whatever it is. It can be very, very challenging to train for all of these things. And if you don't have, guidance or purpose, or you're just lost, yeah, you're probably going to pack it in. Now, number 5 is physical discomfort and pain. Okay, so beyond serious injuries, the initial discomfort of running, or muscle soreness, or joint pain and shortness of breath, look, all of this can be a major deterrent for beginners. Or heck, maybe even runners have been doing this for a long time, because without proper guidance or understanding that this is a normal part of the process, these physical changes can make running feel like a really unpleasant experience. And even when you're coming back from time off, sometimes you forget what it's like to be a runner, and you're kind of starting all over again. So what do you do if any of these things is happening to you?
The voice in your head that says you can't do it is a liar. The voice that says that you're not fast enough, not strong enough, or that you're going to fail, that voice is holding you back. Your body can handle so much more than your mind believes it can. Push past the fear and listen to the rhythm of your feet on the pavement. That is the only truth that you need to hear.
Conquering injury is the art of the comeback. And the key to overcoming injury isn't just about waiting for pain to go away. It's about strategically, patiently, and figuring out a smart return. So becoming a beginner runner again, no matter how experienced you were or are, you must treat your return to running like it's starting from scratch. Start with the run walk program. This allows your body to include including your muscles and tendons and ligaments, to gradually readapt to the stress of running without overloading them. Most of us don't listen to our body, and that's really what needs to happen. And this is the most crucial step, paying attention to every ache, every twinge. If something feels off, it's okay to stop and walk, take extra rest days. It's better to be cautious and consistent than push through the risk of re-injury. So strength training prevention is something that many running injuries are caused by the imbalances. So incorporating running focused strength training routine, like I think core workout, glutes, hips, I think it could really bulletproof your body and make you more of a resilient runner. So the other thing I would say is, your running shoes have to, they all have a limited lifespan. A fresh pair of shoes can provide the cushioning support your body needs, specifically when you're making a comeback from an injury. So ditch the old ones and buy a new pair, if you can. Number 2 would be conquering a busy lifestyle and the power of habit and flexibility. Running needs to become a non-negotiable part of your routine, not an optional activity that you can squeeze in. It's something that, I've had to learn and relearn. So schedule it like an appointment. Put your runs on the calendar and treat them with the same importance as a doctor's visit or a work meeting. And this simple act creates accountability and makes for a much harder run to skip. I would also embrace any run that is a good run mentally. Look, you don't have to run for 5 miles every time. If you have 15 minutes, go out and go for a quick run around the block. The goal is to maintain the habit and not a certain distance. I've had to think very, very long and hard about that one, because it's always in the back of my mind that I need to go further. So combine and conquer. Here's something. Okay, so can you commute by running? Take your kids to the park and do laps around the playground. Get creative and find ways to integrate running into your existing routine. Maybe even going out for a walk, just like I am right now. But you got to lower the bar. If you're struggling to get out the door, a super low goal like a 10-minute rule, let yourself just run for 10 minutes. And if you still want to stop, you can. More often though, however, not once you're out, but once you're out there, you're probably going to keep going. You're not going to pack it in. Most people kind of figure it out when they're out there that they can continue on. They've gotten past that struggle to get out the door. Sometimes you just got to conquer the lack of motivation, right? It's a joyful, you need to have a runner's mindset, a joyful running mindset. Running shouldn't be a chore. It should be a source of happiness and joy. So find your why. That's big. Take a moment to think about why you started running in the first place. Was it for stress release, to be healthier, to feel strong? Connect with that purpose and remind yourself about it often. You know, shaking up your routine, right? Getting rid of the boredom is like, here's the thing, boredom is like the enemy of consistency. So change the scenery, explore new trails, run in a different neighborhood, or find a scenic route. Try running at a different time in the day, maybe even with a friend, right? Big thing is set fun, realistic goals. Don't just aim for like a personal record. Sign up for a themed 5K, train for a race in a new city or a town, or sometimes you just need to celebrate the small wins. Like, you know, I've just run this the longest run in forever, right? Or I felt pretty good today. Maybe I celebrate that. Or I celebrate, hey, I was able to run up this hill today, right? Maybe make it social, right? A social experiment, running with a friend, joining a running club, or even engaging with an online running community. Look, it can provide accountability and social support, right, that you need to stay motivated. That's what this running channel is to me. This is what I do on my channel, right? Sometimes me just talking about this gets myself motivated. Or sometimes I end up in a place like I am right now, and I'm going, it's been a long time since I've run here, like over a decade. I'm like, why haven't I come and run here more often? This is a fantastic trail system. I'm floored by how beautiful it is. Why haven't I been here more? Maybe that's the motivation to kind of get me out of my head and kind of get me back in my spark back after all this negative news and life changes and my wife's illness and all these things, you know? Like, look at this. I got to turn the camera around. Look how beautiful this is. What a great trail. Albion Hills. It's in Caledon, in Ontario. And I've run here once before on a race, and I did extremely well. It was very hard. It was one of the 5 Peaks races that they put on. I can't believe I used to run all of this, up and down, up and down. Be quite honest, I think I'm kind of lost at the moment because I really haven't been paying attention. But that's the thing, right? When you can get lost on a trail and just fall in love with it all over again. Isn't this amazing? Like, look at this. Ah, just happiness in a bottle on a trail. Number 4 is conquering unrealistic expectations. The importance of process over the result and falling in love with running means appreciating the joy, not just the destination. Ditch the comparison trap, right? Everyone's running journey is different. Don't compare your pace or mileage or heart rate to what you see on social media. Only compete with yourself in the present, not comparing with where you were in the past. Focus on progress goals, right? And so instead of focusing on the outcome, for example, I will run a sub 2-hour half marathon. Set goals based on the process. I will run 3 times a week. I will do my running and strength training twice a week. This gives you a sense of accomplishment on a daily basis. And then celebrate those small victories. Acknowledge and celebrate every win, no matter how small, no matter how big. You know, completing a run in the pouring rain, finally being able to run that hill without stopping, or simply getting out the door when you didn't want to, or when you don't want to. These are all moments of success. So celebrate them, because you did it. Conquering physical discomfort, the smart approach to pacing and progression. Understanding the difference between discount and pain is key to staying a runner for life. I've learned a lot of these things over the years, and embracing the run-walk method is one of these techniques, right? It was pioneered by a coach named Jeff Galloway. It's not just for beginners, it helps all runners build endurance, and to be quite honest, I think it's a smart way to go about it, you know, and be able to manage the physical stress of running. It allows you to go longer distances with less fatigue, right? The Maffetone method is another approach to that. Slow down, right? A common mistake is to run too fast on every run, and most of your runs should be at an easy pace, zone 2. Maffetone method, where you can comfortably hold a conversation. And this builds your aerobic base and prevents burnout from happening. Look, listen to music or podcasts. It's a distraction that can be a powerful tool, like specifically in the early stages of running when you're having a hard time finding your groove. Find a playlist or a podcast that you love and let it carry you through the miles. That's how I was able to do it. And this one here, I think, is one of the most important. Remember the runner's high. While not every run you will feel amazing, remind yourself of the incredible feeling you get after a run. The release of the endorphins, a sense of accomplishment, the clear head, all the rewards that make the initial discomfort worthwhile. Honestly, this is where it's at. That right there was probably one of the underlying things that helped me continue on when things got hard. That runner's high, there's no feeling quite like it, to be quite honest. There really isn't. You have to experience it, and I don't even know if you'll ever get it, but run to find it is one of those things that I would encourage everybody to do. And when you find that runner's high, you will know that you have found it. It is a full-on body experience. Sometimes it feels like flying and looking at your body like an outer body experience. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just the smell of the air while you run through a pine forest. Sometimes it's when you get off of the trail and you sit down and go, God, that was amazing. I just feel so good. You got all the body aches, but it's a good ache. Those are some of the things I've had and I love. So if you're struggling and you're running, like I am kind of right now, look to those things and see how you can push through them and how you can use it to motivate you to get out the door. Like I always say, get out and run, and see you on the next one, guys.
Back to what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas and then I'm behind the wheel again. Driving this like a spiritual cleanse, where every mile is a new beginning and every bend holds a new end. Eyes on the road, don't lose control. I'm speeding fast to chase my soul. I'm driving to get away, running through emotions high and low, holding on or letting go. I'm fighting another day. nights in the fast lane life, riding high, reaching for the sky. I had it all but lost and fell back